part of my role is playing, I hate the term, but it's true, brand police, especially in a franchise
Hmm.
system with 60 locations. I have to make sure that we're keeping the brand integrity intact and that nobody's
Yep.
abusing the brand or misusing it. There's a whole new opportunity to do just that, to abuse it and dilute the brand now with AI. Now that anybody with a computer or a smartphone can create AI generated slop, I love that term,
Hmm.
and there's some really cool things people can do with AI. I appreciate that. However, it's too easy, right? So now the market's going to get flooded with content that looks the same. It already is from a graphic standpoint. My feed's filled with the same poster reused over and over
Yep.
again, same fonts. But now even with videos, all of the
Yep.
video animations look the same, and they're weird. Somebody has an extra thumb. It's the brand color is different every time they generate it, or the logo, the word marks aren't actually real characters. There's something off
Right.
about it.
Right.
It seems off, and it's my job to make sure that the brand is always on point. So I love what AI can do, but I know you've been very vocal about the use of AI and kind of the dangers of just saying like, oh, we'll just use AI to grow our brand. Talk to
Right.
me about what you're seeing and where are people going wrong? What should they be cautious of as they move forward?
Well, it's really interesting because, our viewpoint on AI, you know, from our perspective of what we use it for as a company is it's always human first and human last. And AI in the middle can help with so many tasks. It's been a very useful too. The challenge that I see, especially in the home service space, is when you're using it to create content. And again, to your point, you scroll through Facebook or Instagram, and literally every ad looks exactly the same or has the exact same hallmarks. And you're seeing again the dilution of their branding in that particular process. So wrong fonts, wrong colors, wrong messaging, generic imagery. And you're saying to yourself, if you're investing in branding, why would you have generic marketing at that point? And the other challenge is too is, and it's not to say that home service owners or people on their staff aren't capable of creating an ad. Like, plenty of people use Canva before AI and did it with, reasonable success, right? But some of the people that are prompting aren't educated on what actually should go in an ad and what should not go in an ad. So um, AI is basically taking a summation of everything that is in its world and regurgitating it. That's why even using it for logos is really a terrible idea because it's taking, a combination of things that it's seen elsewhere and it's trying to create something that feels like a combination of all these things. And a lot of times too, there's even trademark and copyright issues because it's not explaining to you that maybe what it just created to you actually belongs to someone else or could potentially belong to someone else. So copyright issues aside, the you're seeing the sort of generic marketing that is diluting the effectiveness of it to begin with. And the other thing, quite honestly, and it surprises me because like I would say I was pretty vocal 6 months ago about some of the challenges of AI and I think what's really interesting to me as a student of marketing is you want to make sure, first of all, that it's not just my viewpoint that is sort of shaping a perception of what's happening. But when you look at the comments on the ads that are using AI, it's brutal. Like, I'm like, Jesus, is the whole world graphic designers that are pissed off right now? Because so the backlash is surprising for me to see. Um, and there can't be this many graphic designers that are all pissed off at it. Um, a lot of them were just people saying, "I will not use your company because of this AI ad." And imagine that. Imagine alienating people just because you chose to use AI to produce your marketing. And I thought that, like, I thought that that was really, really telling that you're seeing that level of backlash against AI. And so I think there's a lot of caution. I actually think it's going to swing radically back towards doing it the way it used to be done in many instances. There'll still be the lowbrow AI stuff, but I think it surprises me to see big companies using it when like I think again you're signaling to that consumer low effort, I don't really care. I'm just putting out content. And again, like that's the trust signal that you're eroding with your marketing. And so you know, in my mind, I think you'll start seeing that come back because people will get that backlash. And it wasn't just like home service. Like I'm just talking about even regular ads for CPG stuff or anything. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow, there's people that are like not using your company, AI slop. Like, and I'm just like, wow, like it's like,
It's
you know,
tiring.
it was surprising to me.
It's tiring. It's all the same. You're just, it's just
Yeah,
getting, there was enough noise out there before AI came in of people pushing products and services, just advertising, screaming at us all the time, not connecting with us as individual consumers, not getting to know our needs or our wants, and I'm a big fan of educating people, and you keep pushing information out to build trust, and then you can ask for something. You have to earn that. And I think AI has kind of just expedited all of that. It's more noise coming from more people now because more people can put a prompt
right.
in. And it goes back to, I think, the idea of effective marketing evokes emotion. And this AI generated content is soulless. There's really no human connection. I don't think people feel anything on the other end other than you're talking at me now. You're not getting to understand my wants or my needs to create content
Right.
that I'm going to respond to. You're just pushing it out there to check off a box and move on to the next task.
It signals like, yeah, checking off a box. Like, I don't care really enough about this message. So I'm just going to put it out there. And it was easy for me to do and low effort for me to do. So, again, anything that's screaming low effort about your brand just feels really contradictory. It feels like it's not helpful at all in the conversation that you're trying to have. And people will say, and it's funny because, you know, the argument is like, well, a lot of these small businesses can't afford to hire a graphic designer. And I'm thinking to myself, is this a new phenomena that just happened? Or did small businesses always have budgets that they somehow found a way to make it happen? Even if they did it themselves in Canva, like at least they were trying to do something that was
Yeah.
taking some effort. So I sort of don't buy into the notion that well, you know, small businesses they don't have the budget to invest with a graphic designer to produce an ad. I'm like, well, what were they doing the other 5 years ago or 2 years ago? Like, what were they doing then? Like, so I don't. I think it's just a very convenient way to sort of try and justify. Oh well, we can't afford a graphic designer, so we have to use AI. Well, what'd you do before? Like, you know, so it's weird, and I think again, it's surprising, especially when we see clients of ours doing it, because then I say to myself, I don't understand why did we invest in branding then? Like, what, you know, and I'll take a screenshot and I'll send it to him like, dude, it's wrong font, wrong colors, generic imagery, clearly fake, you know, truck imagery. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So it's like I said, I think it'll be one thing that'll probably start swinging back the other way if it hasn't already started.
I think
And
it has.
when you start seeing a general consumer have that much antagonism towards AI, I think that's something to really take note of and to just say, would I rather invest in having something professionally designed where I don't alienate a potential customer just by how my ad was produced? Like imagine alienating the people you're selling to just because you used AI. So eventually I think it'll swing fully back the other side.